KATU News. This is breaking news.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. KATU News at 11 o'clock tonight. I'm Deborah Knapp. We begin this hour with breaking news out of Hood River County. KATU's Barry Mangold joins us from the live desk with the latest on firefighters battling a new wildfire on I-84.
Yeah, Deb, in just the last 15 minutes, ODOT reopened eastbound lanes on I-84, but right now, lanes of 84 are closed between Cascade Locks and Hood River after a truck caught fire and spread to surrounding wilderness. And now here's a map of everything you need to know. It's a nearly 20-mile stretch of 84. Again, eastbound lanes only going from milepost 62 to 44. And we know that the fire sparked closer to Hood River on milepost 56. And again, we know that a truck actually caught fire in the westbound lanes few miles out from Hood River. It sparked somehow. We don't know yet exactly how that fire started or if anyone has been hurt. Several agencies are responding to that scene right now. Here are some photos that we've got from officials and viewers from that scene so far. Just incredible images of this fire that's quickly spread since about 9 o'clock. ODOT has closed the highway again just after 9, so we are only about 2 hours into this, and ODOT says because of what was on that truck, firefighters could be there for a while.
The truck was compressed cardboard, which is really dense and takes a long time to put out. So firefighters could be working for a while on the highway to try and get that put out.
And again, ODOT says that the truck fire has spread to the surrounding wilderness. We've been hearing from folks who were in the area when all started, who said that they honestly saw the flames starting to spread the mountainside, and that traffic backups have been making it difficult for fire trucks to get to that scene. And now to continue our coverage, I want to bring in Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Dave Selesky, who has more on the weather conditions that are playing into all this. Dave?
Yeah, well, at this hour, Barry, the winds have kind of settled down in the Hood River area, but they have been gusty throughout much of the early evening hours. Been some wind gusts approaching 25, 35 miles an hour. This hour in Hood River, we have calm conditions for that mile 57 fire. 61 degrees, the current temperature there. Just a few miles up the road in the Dalles, we're seeing some northwest winds now at about 13 miles an hour. So it has been gusty in the gorge throughout much of the day, and these winds will be tapering off somewhat overnight tonight. But again, dry conditions up in that part of the River Gorge. Now, here's our live camera here in Hood River. You can see traffic moving across the Hood River. This is across the Columbia River. We're seeing some truck traffic there. 61 degrees, the current temperature at this hour. Now, as far as smoke goes, as you can see, still seeing areas of some smoke, and this fire is generating smoke up in the Cascade Lock out towards Hood River. A much heavier smoke. This is being caused by the Williams mine fire. So again, we'll have problems overnight with more smoke and more haze again tonight in the gorge and going into tomorrow as well. Watches and warnings. Nothing right now in the gorge with this mile 57 fire, but we do have a fire weather watch up for parts of Central Oregon. This begins tomorrow and goes through Thursday for very dry and breezy conditions in part of Central Oregon and smoke also in parts of the Rogue Valley and also a good section of Central Oregon where dense smoke will be a problem again tomorrow. We'll have all the forecasts for you, Deb. About 10 minutes from now, back over to you.
Okay, Dave, thank you. We will continue to follow this wildfire as we get more information coming into the newsroom. Catch our next newscast tomorrow morning starting at 4:30 for update information on the fire. You can also head to our website with any overnight updates. Well, the disconnect continues between Portland and the county sheriff, Multnomah County Sheriff, as more people are being cited with violating the city's camping ban. But Portland police are still not able to book them into jail. Tonight, we're learning how many more people have been issued citations for violating the city's camping ordinance. Enforcement only started last month. KATU's Barry Mangold reports the mayor and the sheriff's office continue to work to find solutions.
Last month, Portland police tried to book the first person into jail for violating the city's new camping ordinance, only to be denied at the jail by the county sheriff's office. Now we know that officers have accused 7 people of violating the new rules. The result, however, issue 7 citations and no jail time. Sheriff Nicole Morrissey O'Donnell told the city that her office will not book anyone for violating city ordinances for to pivot while both sides continue to work out the disconnect. Here's Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler said about the interim plan last week.
I have directed the Portland Police Bureau to continue to offer citations for that very, very small fraction of people who just simply refuse to follow common sense rules like no fires near structures, no blocking emergency exits. So that's all percentage. We're going to cite them. We're taking them to a precinct office where they are held until all of their paperwork is completed. It's not the same thing as booking into a county jail, but in the near term, I think it will suffice.
Mayor Wheeler has previously said that having the option of booking somebody to a jail for up to a week gives the city's new camping ordinance teeth. The mayor's office told Barry earlier today that they will be meeting with the sheriff's office this week to talk about what enforcement could look like going forward. Tonight, we're learning the man responsible for stabbing a woman to death in Beaverton will spend at least 30 years behind bars. Salvador Martinez Romero was sentenced to life in prison today. Police say he killed 72-year-old Janet Reed in December of 2019. He also attacked her 53-year-old daughter and 2 other people before stealing multiple cars. He was set to go on trial next month, but he changed his plea to guilty last week. And one man's also set to stay behind bars for multiple decades. Isaac Woodward was sentenced yesterday to 22 years. Police say he beat another man to death last September, leaving the body in southeast Portland. He also assaulted 2 other people. Woodward pleaded guilty to first-degree manslaughter and second-degree attempted murder. And we now have some new information on a story we brought you last night. The man accused of shooting 2 people Sunday in northwest Portland will stay in jail for now. Today, a judge decided to hold James Rennick for another hearing. This comes after he turned himself in to police last night. Rennick faces a number of charges, including attempted murder. A new deflection center continues to receive pushback as a Portland neighborhood is now calling on Multnomah County to pause the opening. Starting next month, the county plans to use the drop-off center for people caught with drugs who choose to go there instead of face jail time charges. KATU's Christina Giardinelli shares with us the main concerns coming from community members.
Contractors and hard hats working to get Multnomah County's new deflection center ready to open in a couple of weeks. Just down the street, parents picked their kids up at a local preschool. Some, like Chelsea Parrott, aren't thrilled at the idea of police dropping drug users off a few hundred feet away.
What happens if there's a confrontation with police that's out there? What happens if they're open drug use in front of the kid?
The county's deflection center is a response to House Bill 4002 passed by lawmakers in January. The law changed Measure 10 by criminalizing drug possession with new charges starting September 1st. That's when the county plans to offer people caught with drugs the option to deflect away from the justice system and into the center. Parrott has kids going to Escuela Viva preschool down the street.
It's really disheartening as a parent to realize that our concerns are seen as inconveniences to the county instead of important and stakeholders in this process.
Parrott wants the county to sign an agreement with neighbors before opening the center's doors. Escuela Viva's owner has threatened to sue if that doesn't happen. Ryan Yambra, a spokesperson for the county, says they're talking with neighbors.
Well, the county has met with the Central East Side Industrial Council and the Buckman Community Association and agreed upon a framework.
One of the neighborhood's big concerns is that the county hasn't laid out any plans for increased security or increased police patrol on the streets surrounding the center.
The county has budgeted almost $800,000 for security in the first 10 months alone. There will be 2 uniformed security officers at all hours.
Yambra says Portland police will also have a presence around the neighborhood because they will be dropping people off at the center, but there are no official increased patrol hours.
Is there anyone looking into potentially an intergovernmental agreement to increase patrol hours there?
I don't have an answer for that quite yet, but we can look into and get back to you.
That was Christina Giardinelli reporting. The Multnomah County spokesperson says the county does expect between 1 to 5 clients at the center per day, but those numbers are based on drug arrests that happened prior to the fentanyl crisis. The center will also offer meals, showers, and laundry on site for people brought there by police. Walk-ins will not be accepted. At 11, have you seen this man? Oregon City Police are calling on the community to help find 20-year-old Parker Kemp. He was last seen at the Oregon City Transit Center August 8th, about 10 at night. Officers believe he is suffering from a mental health crisis. If you have any information about where he is, you're asked to contact Clackamas County Sheriff's Office. Fighting for fair wages, that's the latest share drivers are up against with the city of Portland. Protesters outside of the Bureau of Transportation say share platforms increase prices for riders while cutting drivers' pay. They also tell us PBOT is not acting on a recent vote that passed recommending a minimum pay for drivers. KATU spoke with one protester on what he wants to see changed.
Yeah, fair pay and safety for the drivers, because both the ride shares play games. They gamify the system so people stay out too long and chasing the goal of, getting another $200 because they're going to do 50 rides instead of 45 rides. And some people, that's not very safe sometimes.
The drivers also tell us they're working to create a union in Oregon. Tonight, a former Vietnam combat nurse was in the front seat of a Boeing Stearman biplane. She was one of a handful of local veterans honored with Joyride in McMinnville. Arlene says the opportunity was particularly exciting for her.
I think it's absolutely fabulous. Yeah. It really is. And it takes quite a bit of organization and talent and know-how to plan something like this. I thought it was really cool when I was invited because for the most part, we Vietnam veterans were kind of pushed aside.
The nonprofit Dream Flights partnered with the Springs Living to put on the event. A handful of veterans from across Oregon and as old as 100 selected to take part. Organizers say they hope it serves as an opportunity for the experience. Well, and we are getting a close side of National Airport. The grand opening is set for some of the improvements travelers are going to notice include new security areas, new check-in areas, shops and restaurants, the flooring, and the return. Oh, yes, there it is, the iconic PDX carpet. All the foot selfies you can take. All the designs are inspired by the state of Oregon and features a timber ceiling. This is only phase one, a major renovation project for the airport. In fact, phase two will be completed late next year. Can't wait to see it. Still to come on KATU News, the race for the White House heating up as the final preparations begin for the upcoming Democratic National Convention. See the new security measures now being taken to limit protesters and keep everybody safe.